Hello, my name's Taylor Robertson, and today I would like to talk about pre-hospital blood administration. So, blood's one thing that everybody has, yet in the event of a trauma, we never seem to have enough of it. So, a little bit of background on blood. So, for the longest time, blood was only seen in the hospital. It is starting to creep its way pre-hospital, whether that be in the aircraft, helicopter, or plane, or on the ground by ambulance. This is still largely due to the strict regulations that have to be followed with blood. The biggest one being the temperature. So blood has to be kept between 33 and 42 degrees. Anything less than 32 or less than 33 and it begins to freeze and crystallize. Anything more than 42 and it can start to grow bacteria. Blood also can only be kept on hand for 2 weeks before it needs to be switched out. So all right, we've decided that we want to give blood. What do we need now? So first, we need blood. Kind of seems obvious, but that's our start. A lot of services that are carrying blood are either getting it from the community blood bank, which is volunteer donations, or the American Red Cross. Second, you need your Y tubing and normal saline. So my service doesn't carry blood, so we don't carry Y tubing, but I have bag of normal saline, which will be hooked up. And we have this is our primary tubing. So the big difference is this part. So on your Y tubing, you're gonna have two of them. Ours only has one. So for it, you're gonna hook one end into your normal saline. You're gonna hook the other end into your blood. This allows for you to flush your line, which basically just means get all the air out. So we'll shoot saline through it to get all the air out before we hook that up to somebody. It also lets us, if we have a reaction from the blood, we can turn the blood off, turn our fluids all the way open, and we can flush out and try to dilute that reaction that might be happening. It also kind of helps keep the blood from breaking down prior to being infused. So we've discussed what we need to give blood, but why do we want to give blood? So the first big benefit to blood is it has oxygen carrying capabilities. So normal saline is really good at replenishing volume if you're dehydrated, but it has no ability to carry oxygen. While blood has hemoglobin in it, which is the oxygen carrying part of the blood. So second, blood is able to clot. So just like I said in the previous slide, normal saline does a great job at replenishing volume that's lost, but essentially it's just water. It has no ability to clot. It actually can do the opposite. We take a patient who is already down on blood and we give them fluids. We can dilute the blood that's left in their body and we run the risks of breaking clots free when we do that. So, what now? So, we've talked about the equipment that we need to safely and effectively infuse blood into our patients. And then we've discussed the benefits that blood has over normal saline. So I'd finally like to leave you with a quick story. So I had just got my paramedic license. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago now. I was working on a fire truck and we got towed to a elderly gentleman who was involved in a bandsaw accident, which is just a really big saw that has just a continuous blade. We got there and he had amputated his arm at the mid shaft of his ulnar radius. It was completely gone. We threw a tourniquet on him because he was bleeding profusely. Um, our service didn't carry blood. We still don't carry blood. Um, we gave him normal saline and we ended up busting some of the clots that had already formed free. He bled again. We were able to control it. He fortunately made a full recovery, was transported to the hospital, and once he got to the hospital, he received multiple units of blood. I don't know the end number, but had we had blood in the field, we potentially may have not busted some of those clots free, and we could have potentially stabilized him a lot sooner than what we ended up doing. So I'd like to thank you. If you want to take a second to review my resources here. Thank you.